Welcome to Two Crazy Scoops Podcast with your hosts AO and Antino. This week we're going to have our special guest. Sadly, it's not going to be who we said was going to be. It's going to be someone else. So we have Ethan Plumb here to talk to us about Arkansas and pizza, some of our favorite topics. So stay tuned. Hi, welcome to Two Crazy Scoops Podcast with your hosts AO and Antino. As I said, we have our special guest here, Ethan, who is going to make up for the lack of having Eddie on the podcast. So we're going to question him about microbiology and drawing blood. So what do you know about phlebotomy?
It sounds funny.
What experiences do you have drawing blood from people?
None.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go, folks. That'll conclude this episode for this week. Stay tuned next week. No. Well, thanks for coming out, Ethan. Ethan is coming to us. He's our longest traveling guest.
Yeah.
He came out just for this. Not to spend time with family or friends.
Yep, just for this.
But
just for Two Crazy Scoops.
There you go.
And for like the 7 viewers.
And Ronnie. Oh, would you like to make any shout outs before we start?
Well, I want to thank my parents for giving birth to me.
You're not winning an award. Anyways, whatever.
If he wants to thank his parents, let him.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
I wouldn't be here without them, so they're the real
Exactly.
MVP.
Well, congratulations
Okay.
on being born. So Ethan, I've known you for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And were you born in Coolidge?
I think I was born in Casa Grande.
Oh, well, it's a hop, skip, and a jump away.
Yeah,
So.
but I've always lived in Coolidge.
Was your mom in Coolidge and then you came out in Casa Grande, or?
Yeah, I just shot out of there. Made up some distance.
Yeah. So what do you know about Coolidge, Aaron?
Nothing.
I call it the not so Coolidge.
Have you ever been
No
there?
offense.
I just drove through it, I think.
Okay.
Just
Well, that's
to
all
get
you need to
Casa
know.
Grande. On the way to Casa Grande, you just drive through there, or Phoenix.
Yeah.
Do you drive through Coolidge?
Yeah, you can drive through Coolidge.
I mean,
Well, I see
on the freeways,
signs.
I-10 go to Coolidge.
There's signs that
Yeah.
say to Coolidge.
Or is it Eloy?
I don't know. Do you know where you drove through? Was it the boulevard or?
No.
I don't know.
Hey,
where
wait.
you
I
were
just thought
going.
about something. This might be actually Eloy. You don't have? Is there a
Prison?
No.
Oh,
Um,
the wall that they're
what
building?
do you call this? Indoor skydiving? Is there one of those in Coolidge?
I don't think so.
Okay, so that was Eloy then.
Yeah,
that I'm
I've
thinking
never
about.
done that, and I know about most of the happening things in Coolidge.
Oh, okay.
Well, did at least.
Until now.
Yeah.
Well, then no. I don't think I.
So Coolidge is a very, very small town,
hmm
but it's also kind of cool.
Well, it's small for Arizona.
Yeah.
Now I've really experienced small though.
Being in Arkansas.
Yeah, because Coolidge has 12 or 13,000 people. The town I'm in, Arkansas, has 3,000.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah. The interesting thing is when you're driving to Coolidge, though, you pass through Florence.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the prison is. So
Yeah.
I'm just driving there, looking at these people in prison, and you're just man, I'm glad I get to drive a car
Wow.
Yeah.
and not be in prison.
Wow.
There's some
You're
interesting
glad you're not in
stories
prison.
about that prison. I don't know most of them, but if you looked them up, I've read some of them.
Let me look on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Interesting Florence stories about prison.
There was prisoners that escaped and stuff.
Oh yeah. Well, it's not a super high security one, is it?
I doubt it. It's Florence.
They're hey, someone escaped, and they're perfect. We have something to do today.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in Coolidge, when I went to go visit with Ethan, there's this
Mm-hmm.
antique store.
Yeah.
And in the antique store, it has a basement.
Yeah. It's so creepy.
So we're just gonna give a little shout out to that
Yeah.
antique store.
It's basically a library down there with
Mhm.
books and stuff. But it is just so creepy. It's what makes it creepy?
It's Coolidge.
Yeah, that's true.
I bought some records there. I think we got a glass cup. That was pretty much it.
Yeah.
So that was the happening thing to do. The other thing is they have a mall. I mean, they have a Walmart there.
No mall, but a Walmart, yeah. They just got a Domino's and a Dairy Queen.
Oh, wow.
So it's really bustling now.
Yeah, dude. I think I saw. Yeah, they have like a big old billboard
Mhm.
when I was driving, and it was like $7.99 for what? And it's like
Yeah.
always funny because whenever I order that, you never actually pay $7.99. You end up leaving like $25 worth of pizzas, and you're like, "How did this happen?"
Yeah.
I just wanted one. And like, no, you have to buy 3 or more in order to get that sale. I'm like,
That's all the pizza franchises, though. It's like this deal, but it's like some specific thing.
Yeah. So, what would you say? How long has it been since you moved to Arkansas?
2.5 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a while.
What would you say like the big differences between? What do you say, Walden?
Waldron. Yeah.
Between being somewhere that's 3,000 people and 13,000, despite the 10,000.
I think the biggest thing I would say, like if I had to just pick one, there's so many differences, but like the biggest thing is probably just people. Like over there, you live in this like little bubble, and everyone there is so nice. They want to talk to you. Like you can just spend 10 minutes talking to anybody on any side street or corner. Like you can just go anywhere. And then in Coolidge, if you look at someone in the store, they're like, "Why are you looking at me?" Like, like you've got something on your face. But like in Arkansas, it's just everyone wants to talk to you.
Huh.
Yeah, really nice.
Very different.
Than
Mhm,
here.
Very different. Yeah.
Well, in Tucson, you don't really talk to anybody. I think my neighbors tried talking to me a couple times, and I'm like, have a good conversation, and then we like never speak again.
Well, here it's like if someone does start a conversation with you, it's like they're not from here.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, you must be visiting from somewhere.
You can go like farther north, like into Oro Valley, and there's
Mhm.
certain communities there where people wave to you when you're driving,
Yeah.
and so that's something I've noticed from like smaller towns.
That's a big thing in small towns. Like, you know everybody, so you, like, wave at everybody driving.
Yeah. And then here, it's like I just try avoiding all eye contact.
Mhm. Well, how many people are in Tucson?
I think it's 1 million.
Oh, dude, that's crazy.
Yeah. And it's like all kinds of different people. Like you have
Mhm.
really, really rich people in the like foothills area.
Yeah.
You have a lot of older folks in like Saddlebrook.
Well, it's like 1 million if you include all the surrounding areas.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't even know what Tucson is anymore because it was like they used to be separated and now everything kind of blended together because
Mhm.
they kind of constructed stuff that way. So that's what I thought was interesting about Coolidge is like you go there and it's kind of like almost like an old Tucson or something.
Yeah.
The beginning.
Yeah, Coolidge it's cool. It has, like, grown a lot. I don't know. It's just some things have shut down since I've been there. Like, it's just, I don't know.
Is the Galloping Goose still open?
I think so, yeah. That's like the Hells Angels place in town. Like, that's where they all go.
It's the Galloping Goose.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like a bar.
hmm
It's so great. I want to be like a really tough tattooed guy and be like, okay, guys, let's all convene at the Galloping Goose.
We've gone there like during the day before. They have excellent burgers.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, how's the wildlife out in Arkansas?
Well, you can basically, like, if you walk through the woods, you're either going to die or get very itchy. No, I'm just kidding. There's lots of, like,
One of two options.
yeah, poison ivy, poison oak. So that's where the itchiness comes from. And then, like, not so much as where I live, but there is, like, a lot of wildlife in Arkansas, like gators and stuff like that. So that's, like, 2 hours south of me, I think. But, like, there's bobcats and mountain lions and stuff up there. So
But what about the pike you were telling us?
the
about?
pike. So there's these, like, they're huge. They're just, like, giant. And they're basically fish. They're basically fish. And they can, like, eat up your hand. Like, the bad things can happen to you. They're not super aggressive, but they can be relatively aggressive.
I like Aaron.
It sounds like piranhas on steroids. That's what it seems
Did
like.
he show you a picture of it?
Yeah.
I don't know if it,
Where-
yeah.
I know I always say I'm going to post pictures because I like never do because I always forget. But I'm going to do it
Yeah.
of this thing because it was like insane. When you were
It's
explaining it to
huge.
me, I thought it was more like an eel, but it looks like a barracuda or
It's,
something like
yeah,
that.
it does. It's big. And
Barracuda.
they got, like, these sharp teeth, but I mean, I haven't really had anything with those, and I don't know too much about them as much as maybe some of the locals do, but
Yeah.
I know they're a thing.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because it just made me think how like growing up here, you really take for granted like you just automatically know that everything's dangerous.
Yeah.
But when people come out here, I'm like, no, you really can't step outside right now because if you do,
Yeah, the sun is gonna eat you.
yeah, I know like the sun's a happy thing everywhere else.
Yeah.
But here, yeah, it's kind of a different story. We like to stay inside.
In Arkansas, you try and explain to people like it's death outside, and they're like, "Oh, but it's a dry heat," and you're like, "I don't care. I'd rather have some moisture in the air than being baked alive."
Yeah.
Uh,
Aaron likes it.
It's just different for me. So,
Yeah.
Very
In
few
comparison.
people like it though.
well, I put it. It's not so much that I like it. It's the lesser of two evils. It's
Oh,
either
yeah.
the crazy heat or the extreme cold and lots of snow.
Yeah.
So between those two, I'd rather deal with the heat.
See, this is like the perfect middle ground. We get snow like once a year.
Okay.
It gets cold there, but it doesn't usually get below 20.
Oh, that's good.
So like it can get cold, and it's just a lot more of a consistent cold. But like heat wise, it only gets over 100 1 or 2 days of the year, and then you'll have some bad humidity go along with it during the summer. But I like it better than the summers here. And then it's like 2 months that are like hard, and then it's over.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I wish we got more snow here, but were you here when it snowed last year? You weren't.
No.
You said you've been gone 2 years. Yeah, dude, it snowed hard, man.
That's what I've heard.
It was fun. And then it just disappeared, as all good things should.
I saw pictures of like the Grand Canyon got snow.
Oh, they always get snow there, though.
Yeah, that's true. But that was really pretty.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So that's Arkansas. Everything will eat you alive.
Except for the people. They'll just talk you to death.
Oh, no, please. Where's the leeches? Do you guys have leeches out there?
I have yet to run into leeches. I don't know if we have leeches or not. I'd need to ask somebody about that. I know what we do have, and that's chiggers.
Excuse me? We are keeping this podcast PG, sir.
Okay.
Oh, man.
So basically, what these insects are, they're so tiny. You can't even really see them. They just look like dead red dots crawling around on you, and they'll like get on your legs and stuff, and they will. I don't know whether they like burrow in or like. I think we looked it up one time, and they put like their babies in you,
Ugh.
and it like they basically create like a little teeny tiny hole in your skin,
God.
and it itches so bad, and you get
course.
you get like these red, like not welts, but like these red bumps on your leg, and it sucks. I got like a picture from my first year there, and my leg was just like covered in all this red. It was
So
horrible.
the babies were just burrowing inside and swimming around.
Yeah, I looked it up, and I think that's what it is. They like put their babies in you, and then they like do something. I don't know.
How do you get rid of the babies?
So one thing that like once you've got them, it's like it's basically just the waiting game. But like
Oh, God.
you can put rubbing alcohol on your legs,
Ooh,
which
that
usually
burns.
but usually that'll
Kill him.
kill them. Yeah. There's also like a bunch of stuff you can buy there, so they won't even go on you. But
Yeah, that's disturbing. I hate hearing about stuff like that. Like creatures that
So, yeah, you're
burrow
either-
in and just
What were they called
dump
again?
their kids.
yeah, you're either itchy or dead. But yeah.
Oh, my God. Okay.
So I'm going to take this time to expose Ethan right now
Oh
Okay.
no.
because this guy invited me to go on like a 5-mile hike with his cousin. So me, Anna, his cousin, and like 2 other of his friends go. We go hiking up Picacho Peak.
Which have you been before, by the way?
Yeah, this is
Okay.
my 4th time.
Oh, okay.
yeah. Well,
Hardest I had remembered.
Okay.
anyways,
Sorry.
they bailed at like 15 minutes in.
We did not bail though.
You
we were
bailed.
just lagging behind a little bit.
You like peace signed and then you left.
We
You just
didn't.
disappeared into thin
No,
air.
we didn't. No, like I don't know. It was rough, dude. It was so
We got
rough.
to the top and I was like, it was so fun hanging out with Ethan today.
Then we went and got Mexican food, so don't complain.
Oh man, dude, but that hike is intense.
It's crazy.
I've heard people tell me, have you ever heard or have you gone to Picacho Peak?
No, I just drive by it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never went.
When people have
ridiculous.
explained it to me, they say like you have to pull yourself up by ropes to get up there. What do you think of when you say that?
I'm thinking like hand over hand, rope.
Yeah, like going up, like a gym class
just
type
straight
thing.
climbing a rope.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I imagined. It's a little different.
Okay.
It's somewhat similar to that in certain parts. But
Yeah.
There's always a slope for you to walk on.
yeah, it's ish, yeah, because you're almost climbing up straight up to get in a certain point, and you have to like pull yourself up with your hands, and it's almost like
It's pretty sketchy.
yeah, it's really sketchy.
Oh, you can die, you mean?
Yeah,
There's like one edge where you can just clean drop off the mountain. Like,
but here's the thing though, there's like a bunch of elderly individuals hiking up this thing.
we talked about it. Those are like, once you hit 60, you become like super hiker.
You unlock it. What'd you say?
Yeah, you unlock like, I don't remember what it was, but like legend status.
Legend
of hiking.
status in hiking.
Yeah.
Once you get 60.
Dude, we were hiking up it. I'm like, how? Because they were at a certain point they passed us. I was like, how are they getting up here? Like, you have to actually physically pull yourself up.
So what you're saying is that older people can't do anything, basically. They can't move.
Maybe I had that opinion before, but I have been corrected.
When they out hike us.
And they out hiked us.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even like they were tired. They were just like, oh, yeah, let's just get to the top.
Yeah.
Okay, they got to the top, did their thing. Then they hiked down and went to the other top of this hill across from us. And I was like, what the heck? And they have hiking sticks.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And Anna was walking, and this lady was kind of like trying to get down, and there was no way that they could both pass. So they was just like, oh, okay. And she just uses her sticks, goes off the path onto like some really like sketchy rocks, and just uses her sticks to like get down. I was like, what the heck? It was like defying.
So she was walking on her sticks, like not walking.
No, she was walking, but she was using the sticks to help give her like support
I'm
walking
picturing
down.
her like on the sticks.
Like those circus performers.
Right.
Like 3 years ago, I went with a group. It was right before like my cousin left for New York, but we went up and we were with this sister, and she had like come from Colorado, and we're like pulling ourselves up these ropes. I mean, they're not really ropes. But
Yeah, it's like metal. It feels like snake skin. Actually,
what would be the word for that? It's just like these
Probably
cords.
It's cord, yeah.
But as we're doing that, like I look over to my left, and she's just like scaling this rock, and it's like, what? Like these Colorado people are a different breed.
Well, they're used to the altitude.
Yeah.
They're like, I've been doing this since I was 12.
Yeah.
And then while we were walking, because Ethan bailed at like the point where it's actually very easy to get to the saddle.
It is pretty easy to get to the saddle. I would have kept going, but I couldn't just leave the other one there.
You should have left the other one.
I wasn't going to leave the other one. He's like 14. I
Doesn't
don't even
look
think you're
14,
old
he's,
enough
like,
to go to
tall.
the top when you're 14.
Really?
I'm pretty sure it's like,
No.
maybe it is 14, but there was like a cap. The first time I ever went, I was too young. I couldn't go to the top.
Yeah. So this guy invites me to go hiking, and we get there, and it's like, warning, this is not for like just anybody. Like, you actually have to be into hiking to do this.
Right.
We're not kidding. You were going to die.
That's what the sign said.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, I thought,
Yeah, we're like, these people ask me, they're like, do you know where the easy trail is?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, there's nothing easy about any of these trails.
No. They ask him, is there any easy trails? And Ethan just turns around and looks up at this towering mountain and is like, no.
And then they went off to like the kids' cave.
Yeah, I don't even know what the kids' cave is.
Me
but
neither.
Yeah.
They're probably too hard for me.
What's this
They're like, this is not your grandma's hike. Well, actually, according
is
to you,
your
it is your grandma's hike.
Yeah.
You have to be
This
like,
is your grandmother's hike.
Yeah.
You probably can't do it.
dude, it was insane. And I guess we went at a good time because not that many people were there. It was just
No.
that group.
Honestly, though, that might be a bigger group than I've ever seen there. Like, I've never seen a lot of people there.
But the lady was like, oh, we came at such a good time because no one's here. And I was like, oh, well, there you go. And then there was one guy who I always like the people that work at these places. I just saw this old guy walking, or an elderly man walking towards us. And he's worked there. He was the trail guide. And he it's like, after the saddle, that's where you start going. You don't go uphill after the saddle. You go back downhill.
Yeah. Quite a ways before
Quite a
you
ways
go
downhill.
like straight up.
And then you go straight up to get to the top of the hill. And we're trying to go down, And it's like, it's difficult if you're going straight down and all you have is a line to hold. It's kind of hard to figure out how to do it.
Right.
This guy was just like turned backwards and was like almost like grappling himself down.
Smart way of doing it, though.
Yeah, it was a smart way to do it. And we're like, oh, like we just.
I talked to the same guy, though, because I like stepped on a thorn right as I was like walking by him. And he's like, oh, is your foot hurting you? He's like, you could go talk to Roy over there. He's like the medical man. And I'm like, I'm okay.
Like, it is not that serious.
Yeah. Not that big a deal.
But yeah, so what's your how would you rate Picacho Peak?
Like on hard or easy? Like, what's the ranking here?
Well, let's say difficulty and then also just scenery.
So like higher number being better,
No.
higher number being worse.
I'm just kidding. On a worse scale.
People do these things weird. Like some people are like, no, I want one.
Oh, just 1 through 5.
1 through 5. Difficulty, I don't know. Like, what are we comparing to this to? I don't know. Maybe like a 3?
Yeah. I don't know. Because
Depends.
5 would be just like
Mount Everest. Yeah.
Mount Everest. Okay.
Yeah.
We're comparing it to that then.
And scenery, like probably a 4.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Yeah. Especially going around this time of year because it's like raining and
Yeah. And it was cool out.
yeah, it was.
You could see for miles.
Yeah. You're like, oh, cool. There's just more mountains.
Yeah. There's some fields where they grow cotton.
Yeah.
That's what they grow here.
Yep. Good old times. So, again, don't go hiking with Ethan. If he ever invites you and you think it's a good idea so you can hang out with him, I'm still in pain from that hike, by the way.
This is a horrible
Like,
hike.
can't get up.
It was rough.
Yeah, it works out your whole body. Like, okay, so the thing about it is I've never gone hiking and actually felt like I had worked out.
Mm-hmm.
You know how you do like stair steppers and stuff, and at the end, like at the gym, you're like, oh, I can't do another one because my muscles are just too. That's how it felt there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But
I think the only hiking I've done in Tucson has been not Seven Falls, but
Yeah, Seven Falls.
oh yeah, and Sabino Canyon, and what else? Mount Lemon.
You hiked Mount Lemon?
Well, we didn't hike it. I guess that's not really hiking, but I
called
drove
camping.
to the top.
You drove to the
I drove to the top. No, but we hiking in Sabino Canyon, and what's this? The park? There's actually 2 of them. There's the east and the west.
Saguaro National Park?
Yeah, so I did Saguaro National Park. I did the one that's closer to me, so I guess the east side one, which is pretty cool. But it's a very easy hike, though. It's not difficult at all.
Yeah.
Nothing as steep as like Picacho.
Yeah, dude.
I've never done anything. Well, no, not in Arizona at least. I did hike to the top of a volcano before,
oh,
Wow.
but I can't. Did I guess I never told that story, did I?
No.
No.
Anyway, so moving on. where did
yeah, where was that?
Yeah, where was that?
This was in Cape Verde, which are these little islands off the west coast of Africa.
Huh.
And long story short, a buddy of mine, he was going to propose.
Okay.
And his idea was we'll hike this volcano to the top, and I'll propose
Drain
to her.
her energy.
Yeah, right. So that she can't say no. And yeah, he will propose at the top. So in theory, it sounded good to me. I'm like, oh, that's cool. But when we get there, it's a horrible long hike. It was only supposed to take 2 hours. And the Cape Verdean people are in good shape, and they were just going along.
Mm-hmm.
Me, being the fat American, and my friend, we were struggling.
Yeah.
We were struggling, and it was just like they had to keep stopping and waiting. The group had to keep stopping and waiting for us because there was probably like, I don't know, 12, 14 of us all together.
Wow.
And but there were certain parts. Now, mind you, that you know how here, well, I don't know how it was at Picacho, but here a lot of places there's like safety and there's signs warning.
Yeah,
you and
yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that. There, it's nothing. They assume that you have a brain and that you know that by hiking this you could die. So
Americans don't.
Yeah, there's no signage, no nothing, and there's certain parts of the hike where when you get to the top where you literally are hand over hand certain spots climbing up. It was horrible, and I got to the top. I ran out of water. I was dehydrated. I was exhausted. and we were drenched, and my friend decided not to propose.
What?
Not there. Well, I think partially.
Wow.
It was a mess. I can't go into too much because in case he ever hears this. But yeah, it was interesting. I was mad. I was like, dude, I don't care what happens. You better ask her.
You're like, I'm gonna ask her.
Right? And she better say yes after all this. But yeah, no, we survived it. We made it down. It was cool. It was a cool experience. At the very top, you can smell all the sulfur and stuff because it was an active volcano.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very stupid. I don't know why we did that, but but yeah, and then we hiked down, and that was it. That's the short version.
Well,
if I could find pictures, maybe we can throw those on there.
did you ever find pictures of your James Brown impersonation?
No, you know what? I did reach out to some friends, but I haven't heard back as far as the actual pictures are concerned. So yeah, that was horrible. That was from last week. It's a whole different story.
Yeah.
For all those 7 listeners.
For all 7 of our listeners, exactly.
Yeah.
There's a story behind that. But anyway, yeah, that's my hiking experience.
Huh. Interesting.
So hiking's pretty terrible sometimes.
No, it is terrible.
It
Like
can
you
be.
go and you're like, why did we want to do this?
Yeah.
It's easy in Arkansas though. You just like, I don't know. It's just easier for some reason.
Because
Like
you're walking into a
Picachos.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah. Picacho's crazy, but I don't know. Over there, it's just like, it's pretty easy.
Yeah, I just like the view. When you got to the top, you
Mhm.
could see where all the rain rolls off of the mountains and the little like etchings it makes into the ground.
Yeah.
Almost look
Pretty
like-
cool.
Yeah. So I'd rate it. You should try it at least once.
Yeah.
I mean, if
Just
you-
be prepared to be sore for a long time.
yeah, especially if you hike with someone like me who's going to complain about it.
Yeah.
Especially if you ditch me.
Well.
So well, I'll let everyone know. This is why I bring people on the podcast.
To call him out.
Yeah, I'm like, remember that one time you did that one thing to me? I'm still mad about it. And they're like, that wasn't me. I'm like, oh yeah, that wasn't you.
This was me though. So you're at least in the clear on this one.
But yeah. So right about now, we are going to go to a short break. So that Aaron can make 18 cents.
Yes, pause for our sponsors. Dunkin' Donuts.
Dunkin' Donuts and Picacho Peak. And we're back with Two Crazy Scoops podcast with your hosts AO and Antino. Continuing our conversation with Ethan Plumb. He didn't leave during the commercial break.
Surprisingly.
Surprisingly.
No.
He's the first guest who stuck around.
Like, peace. Have fun talking about Cape Verde.
So, pizza business is our next
business.
topic.
So, I probably won't name any brands.
No.
You don't have to.
I don't want to
be
get in
as
trouble.
vague as we can.
I work at a pizza place that's pretty well known by most people, but basically, it sucks most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
That's pizza. You know, by the
Yeah.
way, all 3 of us have at one point or another worked in pizza.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, I literally walked into In-N-Out Burger while I was here, and I saw a guy wearing like the same hat that I wear with like the logo on it, and I'm like, I just looked at him. I was in In-N-Out Burger, and I'm like, dude, I feel your pain, and he's just like, yeah, man.
so what is it about the pizza business that makes it tough to work in? What has been your experience? How long have you worked in
So
this field?
now it's 2 years. The biggest thing, the job's pretty easy, but it's usually the people that can be really hard to deal with, whether it's the people you're working with or it's the customers.
Okay, so you're getting it from both ends, basically.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, you get some stupid customers sometimes. They just want to yell at you for no reason, something that's not your fault. And then you also have those people that don't want to work
Mm-hmm.
and like don't want to do anything.
It's like the perfect storm.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, take a situation where nobody wants to make it right.
Right.
And another situation where the people have high expectations for a trash restaurant.
Right.
And blend them together.
And stuck right in the middle of it.
Right.
He's in the eye of the storm.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like Twister on steroids.
Well, one time I had had it up with this night because we were like training a new guy. And man, it was just bad. He had made so many mistakes that night. And so I'm just he has messed up these people's pizza because he put it in the system wrong. So they make the wrong pizza. It wasn't the cook's fault. And so then he's like, oh, I put it in wrong. And then he's like, I can't do this. I need someone else to take the dine-in. And so I'm like, okay. So I was like, I'm not going to do it because I got other stuff I have to do. So the other guy took it. But I was just walking by to get boxes from the back of the store. I'm like, how are you guys? And they're like, well, we'd be a little better if we had our pizza right. And I was like, oh my goodness. And I was really frustrated that night. So I wouldn't usually respond like this, but I was just like, well, that wasn't really my fault this time. And they were just like, oh, so now we're not a team? And then the guy goes out there, the other guy that took it, and he's like, hey, and they're like, hi, how are you? I'm like, why do they hate on me?
You have a punchable face. Ethan.
Yeah, I guess that's what it is. Yeah.
Man. So something I thought was really interesting was this money heist you were talking about.
So at one point, we were so I had already worked there about a year. And one thing that I had just gotten there too, it was my first job. I didn't know too much better, but we were sharing tills at some point. It wasn't that big an issue because I had never been at a place where never at a point had anybody stolen out of anybody else's till, and I trusted the ones I did share with. I didn't share with everybody, but one day we're in a crazy rush, and it's just 3 of us, and one of the guys that knows my number, I think he told the other guy this is what his number is, and so he goes up to the register, and he does the register that night, and then that night when I go to close my till, I'm $40 short. I'm like, what? And so, I covered it. I put in $40 and I left. And then, they closed down the store. Well, anyways, I stopped sharing tills at that point. It became, I told my boss about it, and it was okay, well, we'll keep an eye on it. They didn't they couldn't say it was anybody. They couldn't blame anybody. Anyways, so time went by, and it seemed like everything was pretty good. Nothing was happening. So 2 months pass, and I was not sharing my till with anybody. It was a big thing. But other people still were. They were sharing tills. And so I go into work one day, and it's right after my boss had sent a message to the group chat. He's like, we have to cut down on these, canceling these orders because we have to, not do that. And so I go in, and he's like, okay, so he tells me, he's like, I caught him. And I'm like, what do you mean? Who'd you catch? And he tells me, he's I caught him. And he tells me what he had found out he was stealing. So with the canceled orders, basically what this guy was doing was he was working on somebody's register, not his own. Mm-hmm. And he would cancel the order after and he could only do this for cash. It wouldn't work for card, but basically they would hand him the cash to pay for the pizza. Mm-hmm. And so he would cancel the order, but give them what they were supposed to have in change, and then give them the pizza and pocket what they had gave him.
Oh, okay. So that way the drawer is only a little bit short because it's only based on
cents.
It's only short based on the change. So if he owed him $2 and change, it would only show up $2
Yeah,
short.
it wouldn't come up short just because he'd be giving them the change. Oh, well, I guess, it would probably come up short, but it wasn't usually his till. So.
Right, but I mean, it could be hard to detect, I'm guessing, because for example, if their food was $18 and they gave him $20, he pocketed the $20 and took $2 out of the till. So technically the drawer is only $2 short, right? Am I thinking of that right?
And usually,
because he canceled the order.
Usually we don't worry about it too bad if it's well, we do now more so, but back then it was a $5 cushion either way was usually all right. Uh-huh. And so usually, I don't remember exactly how, but he was making it to where the till was usually staying pretty good.
Yeah, I guess, okay.
And so, and he was using other people. So, he showed me the numbers, and, 2 of my managers there who like shared tills, they had both like $500 of canceled orders. And like his other little buddy had like $300 of like canceled orders. See, since I hadn't been sharing, I had $60 because I knew what I had canceled. And the guy that was doing it had like $6 of canceled orders.
Oh.
And then they took away his till privileges and didn't even like fire him.
Oh, that was it?
Yeah. Eventually he ended up getting fired, but like it was like 2 weeks later that he got fired. I was like, what?
It was a slap on the wrist.
And he made $2,000 in a month.
Oh my God.
Yeah, like
And they knew this.
yeah, after
It's
they
the
figured it
numbers.
out. It's yeah. Yeah, it was
I don't
a
understand
thing.
how you can get away with that.
I don't
I've never
know.
worked anywhere that had that high of a tolerance.
Yeah.
People know how to work the system.
Before
man.
he was writing tips on people's cards too.
Yeah, well, that's a
That's like a
pretty
common one,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, he was just
That's kind of a
Always
tough
figuring
one
out
to
ways to.
find, though, I think, isn't it? Because when you do that, like a lot of times people don't necessarily know. Depends on how much the tip is.
Oh, people are dumb about it, dude.
Yeah. 'Cause
Yeah.
When you put it on your card and you just say add a tip or whatever, you don't, because the tip comes out separately, right?
Yeah,
When
I don't know. Actually, I've never actually.
yeah, it does. It comes out. Yeah.
You
So it's
get-
like 2 transactions.
Yeah.
It's the initial one, and then it's the second
So
one.
you may not pay attention to that little $2-3 additional
Mm-hmm.
charge on your card. You're just not paying attention to that.
Yeah.
Unless you
so,
keep the receipts and add it up or whatever.
Which some people have called and they've accused us of doing stuff like that. But it's like right now there's nobody in our store that I think would do that. But like, and I'll just show them. I'll be like, look, so, and they'll like be like, why does it say that it was this on my receipt? And I'm like, well, you see where it says this coupon was for $7 or something. That's why. So, and it's like, I
Yeah,
don't know,
we'd have like a
it's-
driver that would come in and be like, "Hey, oh wow, I got a $15 tip for this person." And you're like, the order was $12. Why would they give you 15? Well, I don't know. They just did.
Wow.
Like,
Yeah, it's
oh
weird.
yeah, come on. Like people, they're not even like smart about it. They're really stupid.
They really are. And like, yeah, because at the bottom of the receipt, it would be like, say
Not that
they,
you should be smart about it, but
yeah, say they like,
What if
they-
you're going to do it?
yeah. Say before any coupons it was 28, it would still say that. And then after the coupons, you know, it would just say how much the coupon took off. It wouldn't really give you like a new subtotal. And so it was like so dumb because these people will be calling and you're trying to explain to them that that's not actually the price that they spent, because once you take the coupon, it's different. And so, yeah.
Yeah, I worked at some places that did that where it wasn't. They want to see it right away on the receipt, like itemized, I guess, and it is on there, but it's just not as clear. And I can kind of see if I had lower intelligence, how it would be hard to understand
Yeah.
it. Yeah. So
yeah, that's all I'd say though. Is if you're that picky, then don't go out and order food because you're never gonna get like
grow your own food.
grow your own
Exactly.
food.
Yeah.
Because the
absolutely.
people that work there, like a lot of them are just struggling in life from choices that they've made.
Yeah.
It sounds like you have a story, Antonio.
No, it's not that I like despise the people I worked with, but they were all under a lot of stress because of things that they chose to do. A lot of them was smoked and stuff like that, so that like added to their bills and which stresses you out because you can't pay your bills. Then you realize they're paying like a bunch of money per month just to smoke, and you're like,
It is a bill at that point.
yeah, it is a bill. It's probably even more than your rent.
Yeah.
And everybody's got kids.
Yeah.
It's just it's a mess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you're going into these places, like I don't know why they get mad at people. It's just like I can understand like being like, I want my money back, or just something general, but to like scream at the people and like get upset and throw money at them.
But just from the way they act, you can tell when someone has worked in a fast food restaurant
Yeah.
and when someone hasn't, because it is night and day. Like they may be nice to you and you're like, oh yeah, that person knows what this is about. But then sometimes that does not happen. And you're like, yeah, they don't know.
Even just working at Best Buy when I was like 17, I think I learned that pretty quick, just like how it feels to have people think that you understand what is going on in the computer system.
Right.
When all you're doing as a person is just scanning something,
Right.
and it just conjures up
Right.
the price for it. Well, no, this was on sale. Oh yeah, okay. How am I supposed to know that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You bought this tiny little item from some aisle that I don't even know. I just stand up here and wipe that's like what I do.
Yeah.
I wipe the countertop and I make sure my area is clean and I just take stuff and scan it. They're like, why would you try to charge me $50? I'm like, it's not me. It's the system. Yeah. Best Buy doesn't like you.
Now Best Buy's going to sue you.
I know, right?
Yeah, I worked there for like 2 months because it was seasonal work. One of the girls had a health problem and she just like passed out during work. So they let her go.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because that kind of kept happening. Another lady was like, she was telling me, she's like, you really need to go to college. And I was like, oh, really? She's like, yeah. And I was like, oh, did you go to college? Yeah, I went to college. I was like, then why are you working seasonally here? She was like, I'll take you out to lunch. We can go to do like get sign up places or something like that. I'm like, no, I'm okay. I think I'm not going to take life advice.
Yeah.
Well, somebody who works at Target. Ain't nothing wrong with working at Target.
No, Best Buy.
Oh, Best Buy.
No, it's nothing wrong working at it, but if you're working seasonally, it means like you don't have a steady job. So
Well,
it's
not necessarily. Sometimes people take it on as a second job just to get some extra cash.
Help pay the
Like
bills
UPS and FedEx is really big for that. People come and deliver packages, and now Amazon, just for extra money in the pocket. That's all.
The one thing I didn't like about it though was I was like standing around a lot, or you got really busy. Like I'd worked during Black Friday.
Oh,
That was insane, man.
Yeah.
that was terrible.
And like every time like Black Ops, some Call of Duty game would come out, they'd open up like at midnight, and there's like kids with their grandparents like buying this video game, and I'm like, I know you're the one buying it, but your child is going to murder you.
You're just training them
You're
to
training them to murder him.
creative ways.
Have you ever heard of Tetris?
Yeah, right, exactly. Grandparents have no clue. They're just buying the game. They have no idea.
I don't know, man.
I don't know, man. The packaging is pretty clear.
It's pretty serious.
Hey, that's true. That is
It's
true.
like rated M for like killing people.
Yeah.
I think what it is that the kids just they just bug them so much, and just to appease them so they'll shut up, they just buy the game for them.
Maybe.
You know, yeah.
But then they will just
That's a good
kill them
way.
instead.
It's a good way to pacify your children.
That's no guarantee that they're gonna kill
Right.
them.
It's about 50-50.
Right, exactly. Those are still decent odds, I guess.
The
in their
grandparents
eye.
are like, it's just a phase.
Right.
Just a phase. I don't know why Billy's been so aggressive lately.
He just started punching the cat.
He started crawling on the ground with a knife. God. Billy, get that knife out of your mouth.
Oh, my
gosh.
God. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Do you have any other crazy pizza stories?
Crazy
Anything
pizza
that
stories?
stands out?
Uh,
Or it could be retail in general.
Yeah, just any like retail.
Or, any retail nightmares.
I don't know. I mean, I haven't worked in retail. As far as like a customer in retail,
Or customer service,
customer.
I should say. That's better.
As far as being a customer goes,
you know, but like,
I do enjoy screaming at people.
well, one time I was in a JC Penney's, and I was like getting a suit, and I like took my pants and like put them on the hook, and then I put my wallet and my phone in the pocket, and I just like left for like a second, just went out the little hallway just to show like my family what I was like I just show them how it looked, and then I go back in there, and there's like an old guy walking by me, like kind of suspicious looking, but I'm like, oh, who cares? And then I go in there, and my phone's in there, but my wallet's not.
Oh.
And I had to cancel my credit card and like all kinds of stuff. Like,
Wait, you didn't tackle the old man?
no, I didn't tackle the old man because by that time I was like looking around because I didn't
He
want to
didn't
just
play
like
Black Ops, okay?
Dude.
I didn't want to like miss it somewhere and like accidentally have it in my pants or something. And now I've tackled this old man and I'm sitting in a police office. Like, why did you tackle this old guy? Well, I thought he had my wallet.
No. Well, it's funny. That's one thing I've learned, and where I work at, a huge percentage of the thieves are actually older individuals.
Yeah.
People who you wouldn't suspect. And what's
Oh
funny?
no,
Well,
we're
I'm
going
just,
down a dark path there.
I'm just speaking the truth.
Being ageist on this podcast.
Hey, no.
First they buy Black Ops, now they steal games.
Buy violent video games with
Maybe they just steal the video games.
No, I'm not even joking.
The title of this episode is going to be Aaron Hates Old People.
No, I don't. But hey, it's not my fault
The statistics. You're like, no, the statistics show. I'm not saying it. The stats are, which makes it correct.
That's all I'm saying is the people who you look at and you think that they're going to take something. It's not them. It's the old people.
Yeah, it's
and
true.
They do, and not only that, but then if you catch them, they'll be like, "Oh, I forgot I had that in there." Yeah,
what if they did, Aaron?
How you gonna forget?
How did your wallet get in there?
Yeah. So you forget 15 pounds of salmon stuffed in your jacket pocket, and you forget it's there. There's no way in the world. No. What? Yeah, they'll go to the meat because the meat department is one of the most expensive areas. You know, you can get some expensive cuts of meat that
is that why they smell like fish?
Well,
why go for the salmon? Go for a ribeye.
I ain't even go there. I ain't talking about how they smell. I'm just talking about what they do. And I'm just saying they'll go and they'll get them a couple of pieces of salmon or some steak or something from the meat department, wrap it up, and in the meantime they'll put like milk and eggs and cheese and the cheap stuff in the shopping cart, but that meat disappears somehow, and they stuff it wherever they can stuff it, and then we'll approach them like, you went back to the meat department, and we know you bought this, and we're talking 40, 50, sometimes more, pounds, not pounds, but
pounds.
No, not pounds, but dollars worth of meat
goodness.
And stuff that they'll take. And I'm like, I forgot that. You paid for your $2 of eggs and bread and milk, but you forgot this all of a sudden. Yeah, it's crazy.
Have you ever been the one that had to confront them about that?
I never confront customers,
right.
but I will point them out to the people who I know, who I work with, who I know will approach them.
Yeah.
I point them out. I'm like, yep, watch out for her. Because she got, look how she walking.
Yeah.
There's a turkey up there. So
you're the brains, they're the bronze.
Well, I don't.
Of the operation.
Well, sometimes it's just obvious, though. You can tell.
Right.
Because it's giant bulge in their stomach.
Yeah, exactly.
You would think most of the people that would go in there would be like, because that seems like a higher class store. And most of the time.
Exactly. That's what you would think.
They come in to buy it.
Right. That's what you would think. But.
Is this like a common thing?
Unfortunately, it's more common than you think. And here's another thing. They don't like to call the police on them, which is so dumb to me. I don't care how old you are. I will call the police on you.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're 100 years old. You stole.
Yeah.
Call the popo.
Oh, my God.
I don't know.
Aaron, have some mercy.
No. No. Just because you old don't mean it's right to steal.
Oh, man.
Well,
especially when you know better. Nah.
The guy that stole all that money, he didn't. No police action there.
That's something I learned.
No, we never called the police for anything.
That's something I learned, though, is that
stupid.
Everybody steals on a constant basis. It's like so crazy because people don't get paid enough. Then they steal to off balance that. Then they lose their job and they just keep going on because everyone's used to it. And that's what I learned from working at that pizza place.
Yeah.
Was that everyone is just so used to this kind of behavior going on that it's not even a big deal. And if you decide not to partake in that behavior, you're actually the one that they treat worse because they expect more from you.
Right. Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Unfortunately. Yeah. That's just the way it is. And like for customers, technically, if a customer is stealing, as an employee, we technically can't stop them. Like we can't touch them or do anything to them as far as to try to stop them. We can ask questions like, can I help you with anything?
Can I help you pull that salmon out of your jacket?
Exactly.
Well, can you hold the salmon and put it in a place where it's not too obvious?
Yeah, no, we can't really do anything. So, and the thing is, customers know that. The ones who are in there to steal, they know that we can't do anything to them.
Oh, yeah.
So they'll, and we've even had some who've been so brazen to be like, well, just so you know, your store has a reputation of being very easy to steal from. And I have stolen and I'll continue to steal. Now we'll ban them. We'll call, we'll call the police and let them know. We'll take pictures and stuff like that. We have a whole.
Aaron's got selfies with all these people.
He's
like, hey!
That's the next post on your Instagram.
we have a whole book of like shady customers that we just keep in, just in case we see them, unfortunately. But yeah, nothing you can do about it.
Like a scrapbook.
We do. It is. And some of them look hilarious. Oh my goodness. But anyway.
So Ethan,
that's my rant.
If you can go get us about 10 pounds of steak from right now.
I never said where I work. Oh, we need to edit that out.
I'll edit it out.
Do not say that. I do not want that.
I'll just blank that out.
Yeah, just bleep.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I intentionally did not say the name of the store.
And just leave all this part.
We don't know
so
where
we made a
AO
mistake.
Mm-mm. Nope.
Very
It's a
secretive
secret.
place.
It's a secret.
Anyways, Ethan, we need you to just
Go to the secret store.
secret store and pretend you're old. We're gonna need you
But
to.
wait, I don't know where I'm going. No, just kidding.
You'll know when you get there. It's just a madhouse of old people, just stuffed full of meat.
I'm just gonna see them go up to the salmon and be like shoveling it in there.
Yeah. That's my day, pretty much.
Do they even try to hide it when they're stealing it, or like?
It depends. But usually, yes. Usually, people are not obvious about it. I mean, it's
Right.
obvious to us because we see customers all the time, so you get to
Right.
learn certain behaviors.
Right.
But no, they're usually pretty cool with it. They'll have like a carton, because just think of it this way: if you have a cart full of groceries, right? You can fill it with fluff. And when I say fluff, I'm talking about cheap stuff, cereals and stuff like that, to make it look packed. And then you just swing by the meat department and grab some stuff, or you go by whole body, or I should say like the, what do you call it? Like the cosmetic department, where you can get little bitty tiny bottles of cosmetic type items that are very expensive as well. Because a little bottle of some of
like
that stuff is
lavender
like,
oil or something like that.
stuff can be like $20-$30, which doesn't sound like a lot, but I mean, when you swipe 3 or 4 of them and they're tiny,
It adds up quick.
It adds up real quick. Yeah.
Yeah, because I got onto some like lavender type oil thing. It was for migraines, and you like supposed to rub it on your head and stuff. But that was like $19.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And they're tiny, so you can easily hide those. So it can add up. It's sad. We even have to hide certain types of honey because we actually sell certain types of honey that are like $40 a jar.
Whoa.
Yes, it's like honey from New Zealand. It's called Manuka honey, and it's very, very expensive. But we have to put pictures of it on the shelf. Like, this is what we have, and you can ask for it.
It's like those when you're trying to get any Apple products at Best Buy or something, you have to give them the tag.
Exactly.
It's like this big old butch guy that just goes back and unlocks this drawer.
Yeah.
He's like, "Here you go, sir." And you're like, "Thank you." And then just follows you back.
Oh, man. Yeah, retail is something else. It's crazy. Whoever said the customer is always right, lied.
He just said that
I said
today.
that
he went
today,
off.
yeah.
Like in the
Yes.
car, I was like, "Ethan, can you calm
customer's
down?"
always right. No.
Ethan, your
No.
blood pressure.
Yeah. Nuh-uh.
I think my exact words was, "The customer is not always right. The customer is always stupid."
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then they treat you like you're the stupid one, and
Right.
it's like, I'm the one that actually knows what's going on here.
I'm like, do you realize that I have zero control over what this company does? If
Right.
they want to charge this price for that, well, guess what? Is that price? I have no control
Right.
over it.
They're like, it's this much, and you're like,
Oh,
yeah,
that is
because
the
I
most
invented the
annoying-
prices.
Oh, I had one guy. He ordered a pizza on the app for the pizza thing, and when he went to deliver it, I was like, "Okay, it's gonna be this much," and he's like, "I already paid for that." It's like, "Well, the ticket says you didn't. It says you're gonna pay for it when we arrived." No, I'm pretty sure I paid for it. It's like, well, maybe you could check your bank account or something.
Yeah.
He's like, "No, I paid for it." So I was like, "Okay, well, you can call the store." So I gave him my phone. He called the store, and he was like, "Your app is not working. I paid for this on your app." And I was like thinking in my head, I'm like, "Sir, if it was our app, like, and we worked on it, we would not be making pizzas for you right now. We'd be in app development."
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like everyone here is like a tech genius.
Was he just trying to get a free pizza?
I don't know what happened. So I mean, and that's the thing is like you try to give people the benefit of the doubt, but you never know. Some people are trying to, and some people just.
Yeah, sometimes they do. They come up with some crazy stuff. They'll come up and be like, "Well, I got this pizza wrong last time I was here, and I was told I was going to get it for free."
Oh yeah. Oh,
like,
2 weeks ago, your manager said that I could come in and get a refund, but I
Yeah.
haven't been able to because of this and that. Can you just? And I was like, no, I'm sorry, I can't just. Well, we called your manager and we said that we could get it. I was like, well, I'm really sorry, but I can't just give you money out of the drawer. No, you can. I was like, well, do you have a receipt? I threw the receipt at the guy along with the pizza that I took home.
Dang.
Oh, okay. So you threw the receipt. Yeah, so I don't have the receipt. Oh, okay.
What's the name of the manager you spoke with?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
he knows who it is. I don't know what happened. And the manager that I worked with did have a tendency to do that. But I was like, sir, I was like, if I give you $20 out of this till, like, I'm responsible for it. So I'm basically giving you $20 out of my pocket. No, they'll cover you for it. I'm like,
Yeah.
first off, they barely even pay me.
Right, exactly. You do realize I'm only going to make $20 tonight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, so what did you end up doing?
Well, apparently his kid went to the emergency room because we put jalapenos on the pizza, and so
Wait, for real?
I don't know. That's what he told me. He's like, me and my wife, we Ubered here, so you need to hurry up and give us our money. I was like, sir, I'm really sorry, I can't. I said, I only have so much authority here. I'm calling the manager, but she also has children and has to take care of them, so I can't really help you. And he was like, oh, I can't believe this. I said, well, if you come at a time that she's here, I'm sure she'll give you your money back. Since she loves to do that.
We don't do refunds where we're like at the place I'm at. What we'll do is, so either we'll like give them like a, where they can get something off of it next time they order. It can be like whatever they want to order and they'll get $5 off, say, or something, or however much it was. And then we could remake it for them, or like if we need to remake it for them later, we'll just like put it in the chat with our like managers and let them know that way. And if it's not in there, if they come in complaining about it, we'll be like, okay, well, I need to call my boss and we'll do that. But usually it's
but
like
people seem to think that like we all have the same information.
Right.
We're all working, like everybody communicates. I'm like, I barely talk to the people I work with here.
It's like, oh, they made sure to tell me that some random person didn't get their pizza right,
They're like,
and they're coming back in to get it.
They're like, oh my gosh, we have to tell everybody right now. Hurry, get the phones. Call everyone
half
in
the
the
time
store.
it's like fake, and they'll call on the phone and be like, oh yeah, and then you're like, well, I need to call my manager, and then it'll be just like dial tone, because it's like they know they're not going to get that.
Yeah, well, he cursed out the other lady that had been there with me. He cursed her out, so I was like, well, if he calls, I'll just take it because I don't really care about being here. So
Yeah.
nothing he says is really going to bug me. So when I came there, he's like, is she here? And I was like, who? The woman I talked to, is she here? Or is she just hiding in the back? I was like, sir, like she went out for a break. I mean, technically, I had to go do a delivery, and so then I came back, and I was supposed to work in the store. And I was like, I wasn't even supposed to be gone. I just did that because we got busy. So, like, if there's anything, you can just repeat it to me. Oh, well, now I have to go through the whole thing. And you're like, yeah, sir. I mean, when you're asking people to give you money.
Generally a story. Yeah, I need an explanation.
Yeah. So that's fun.
That's pizza, though. It's just it's stupid.
Man, I love pizza still.
Pizza's still really good.
I can't get
I mean,
can't get over
like-
it. And I feel these people pain because we screwed up so many pizzas and they still come back. You just can't get enough of it.
You just can't.
You're like, oh God, I hate these people, but I need it.
Sometimes you're like eating it and you're like, this isn't even that good. And then you go in for more.
Yeah, you're like, oh, oh man.
Oh,
People
God.
screw up pizzas and you just have like a stack of pizzas in the back and you're just gorging yourself.
Yeah, you do feel bad
I
when they're
don't.
like up there waiting for their stuff and you're just like, this is really good.
This one guy's like, how come every time I talk to you, you're stuffing your face? And I'm like, because it's so good.
Yeah.
Oh,
Man.
God.
So many flavors.
Yeah.
I do have a very strong love affair with pizza.
Yeah. You have to get so creative though after a while.
Oh yeah, I'm fine with that. I can get creative
Right.
all day. Like,
Yeah.
you put the ranch, you put barbecue, you got buffalo sauce.
Right.
you
Well, it
got
feels
butter.
like I've unlocked like a new level of pizza because before I started working there, it was like, you know, it was always the classic like pepperoni or something, or, you know, you'd have pork here or something. But like once you go and you like work there, now it's like I've created some of the best like combinations. And I won't forget those. And it's going to be like, some people order stuff like that, but it's rare. Most of the time you just get those like normal pizzas.
Yeah. Well, they started doing this thing called stuffed breads at the place that I worked, and you can stuff like you take a medium-sized pizza that's sheeted out to a medium pan.
Yeah.
You put about 4 ounces of cheese and like an ounce of like either pepperoni, bacon, jalapeno. You fold it up and then you cut it into pieces. What I decided to do with it though is I put in icing. Like,
Oh.
they have an icing for cinnamon breads. I put the icing in there, sealed it up, cut it, put it through the oven,
Oh.
and I don't know if they add coloring to the icing to make it white, but when it came out, it was like this clear liquid, and I was like afraid to eat it. It was just like all cinnamony. I was like, well, I already made it, so I guess I'm gonna have to try it.
So one thing that I tried was, and this was like one of me and my coworkers, this was like our favorite thing to do, especially in the morning. Like we would just take like a personal pizza, and eventually we did this on a larger scale, but I won't get into that.
You won't incriminate yourself.
This was just the shift leader. This wasn't the big guy. Well, anyways, we just like took a little personal pizza. We like put some butter on it, sprinkled cinnamon on top of it, covered it, and put it in the oven. And then as it went through, we took it out and we took like this icing on it and spread it around. Oh, it was so good.
Yeah, almost like cinnamon bread.
It's just, yeah. And with that icing, like it was just amazing.
Yeah, people would look at me like when I first started working there, I was just going crazy with that. Like you can get a small personal pizza.
Yeah.
And I would put like bacon
Right.
and like cheese. Like sometimes I wouldn't even use a sauce base.
Mm-hmm.
You would just use the cheese, put bacon on top, and then
Yeah.
I'd put barbecue sauce.
On top of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and run it through.
Yeah.
Oh man,
It gets crazy.
I just can't contain myself, Aaron.
You are quite the pig.
Oh, dude. And that's just like the beautiful thing about it. Again, I will go into great detail with this, is the fact that this is just a small fraction of pizza. Like, this is the kind of pizza that has a lot of flavoring on it. It's like basically like manufactured artificial
Yeah.
stuff. And the stuff that we have isn't even butter.
I know.
It's
I know.
like, it says butter, and I'm going to let everyone know it says butter.
No,
Yeah.
but if you read the
No, it
ingredients,
doesn't even
it's
say it.
butter sauce.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
like a sauce. It's not butter.
It's not butter.
And
It
there's
literally
no-
is butter sauce.
It's like
He's
a
right.
sauce that's made up of everything but butter.
Yeah.
Plastic. It's just plastic.
Everything that
Yeah.
will destroy your eyes and kidney.
But
Yeah.
it tastes good. Don't get me wrong. But yes, it
Oh,
shortens
yeah.
your life
It shortens
every
your life.
time
sure.
you eat it.
So you have like that kind of pizza, and then you also have like the artisanal pizzas that are like hand tossed and made into a brick oven, and you're like, this is so great. So it's like there's so wide variety and range of pizzas
Yeah.
that you can just like have a party night with pizza or have a classy evening with a cup of wine.
Right.
They're even doing like cheeseburger pizzas and like taco pizzas.
Okay, now that's
Like,
just
see, I think pizza is a good enough thing where you don't need to copy other foods to make it better.
Right.
you
yeah.
know what would make this
Taco
pizza
pizza's
better?
good though.
If we threw a bunch of tacos on it.
But taco pizza is good. It's just, I don't know. It just feels like a not pure pizza.
It's like we were so busy asking if we could that we didn't stop to think if we should.
Yeah.
Wow.
I have a friend in Nebraska, and he's like started making, like, he makes his own dough now. Like, he buys like 50-pound bags of dough
Oh, wow.
and goes through them, and he's like started catering and stuff, and like it is good, man. And he just got like an oven, and it's like done in 2 minutes. Like, it's quick. Yeah. And so, and like he makes pizzas, and they are so good. Like, anything that is like the fast food type of pizza, he just hates on, because it's like he is like perfected it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're trying to mass produce it for
Right.
like hundreds of people who don't care, like myself.
You're literally just going copy and paste
Yeah.
on most of them.
Copy and paste, drag, drop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. But you got to get fast, man. And that's
You
the thing
do.
that I did like about it, though, is like you're fast paced. You know, stay focused, you get it done. Everyone else gets overwhelmed, but you just got to keep up with it.
Right. It just sucks when you're like, the worst part is when you're like in that like big part of a rush, and it's like the make table has been open long enough now where the pepperonis get all soggy and like start sticking together, and they get all slimy, and you're trying to like peel them apart, but it's like it really slows you down.
Yeah, the pepperonis you think would be the easiest because it's just one topping, but it takes a lot more time.
Yeah,
than
and
most
it's on
stuff.
like 70-something% of the pizzas or something, but like, and then the ham, I don't know if your ham was this way, but it like you have to like pull it apart.
Yeah, it's frozen.
It's stupid.
Ooh, and your hands get so freezing.
Yeah.
Only we measure it out.
Right. Yeah, we don't usually like, we have like a certain like amount to put on like in space, like it shows us, but we don't have to like put it in a cup. We do that with like our meats, our cheeses.
And that's the funny thing too, is because you're not even like a person at that point. You like, if you could get a robot to do it, they would do it. But since they can't, they're like, so you're going to be the robot now.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're like, okay, I have no thoughts or feelings.
Yeah.
I am just a robot. Like,
Yeah.
pick this up, put this there, measure this, make sure that is there, dock
Yeah.
this, move it by, put it in the oven, take it out of the oven, cut it, put the sauce on it, close it up, give it to the customer,
Yeah.
repeat, keep going. I have no feelings.
Yeah, it really is. And you just like, eventually you start to lose the like, you know, making pizza feel of it. Now you're just like, oh, can I just get this out of the way? You're not like, you don't really feel like you're making food for someone.
Yeah.
You just kind of feel like, can I get this out of the way so I can move on to the next thing?
Yeah.
You
and
kind of
that's
forget
so-
that someone's eating it.
Oh, dude, I would never eat. Like, yeah.
Like, I can't.
I'm like, and there's
You can't-
everybody
Yeah.
knows how terrible fast food places are.
Yeah.
But when you're just like, some guy slices his hand and is bleeding, and how they
Yeah.
stop it is by putting a glove over it so he can continue to fold out the dough. You're just like, I don't, something about this just doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that happened at where I'm working or worked, I mean, in the past. But, yeah, I mean, that would be an odd situation.
Yeah, it is.
Or if you run out of gloves and they tell you to make salads with your hands.
Yeah.
And you're making someone's salad with your hands. It's,
Right.
you know.
It just kind of ruins, especially, I mean, fast food pizza for you.
They're like, oh, no, I want to be healthy. I'm going to get the salad, please. And you're like, gosh.
Right. Well, if I go
You're
to
like,
like
you want to be healthy, but what's under my fingernails will make sure that doesn't happen.
Did they put pepper on this?
oh my goodness.
Wow.
When I go to the place I work, it's like I know they're gonna make it good because I know the people there. But then if I just go to some random pizza place, I've become that random customer.
Yeah.
They're literally just mass producing the pizza. It's not gonna be that good usually.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting.
Yeah.
So, man, I feel like we could make your episode like a 2-parter because I still feel like we haven't covered everything.
There's a lot to talk about.
Yeah, but I think we're going to have to call it a day.
Yeah.
Because before we incriminate ourselves further.
Before Ethan
They already know where I work. You better edit that out.
Aaron works.
I'm already royally screwed.
Yeah. They're like, oh,
They're
Aaron,
like listening to the podcast.
I know. They're like,
He's
we're
done
coming after
for.
you.
on this week when Aaron loses his job.
Well, then we can have more podcasts then. So.
Oh, yeah, because I'm sure that's what everybody
If we
wants.
start
right?
recording 3 times a week,
You'll know what happened.
I don't have a job.
Aaron's just going to live stream his live 24/7.
I'm just going to go back to pizza, I guess.
Oh,
Man.
oh goodness.
Oh, no,
God.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
thanks for coming on the podcast, Ethan.
Thanks for having me.
Thank
It
you.
was fun.
Yeah.
Thank you for helping Aaron get his 18 cents.
Yes.
So you said we were gonna do warm-up questions.
Oh,
Then
I
we just
forgot
kinda, like-
about
Oh,
that.
we were supposed to do icebreaker questions, but that's just to kind of
That's
get
okay.
you going into the podcast and everything.
No,
but
you don't need to like warm up his engine, man. He
Well,
just,
that's what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna say. You actually you were like on fire from the beginning, so we
Yes.
didn't really need that. But for some people, it's kind of
we're like,
So
if
you just can't get me to shut up. That's my problem.
if you could be a color, what would you be, Ethan?
yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm already white. Maybe black.
Why is it when you text me, you have the black hand thumbs up? I did that as a joke a couple times and people got all mad at me about it.
Well, I think you can get away with it because you're
okay.
brown. It matches your
I
skin.
can't get
though.
away with it. Just pure innocence.
Oh, wait, this is shut up.
Oh no.
But he chose the blackest hand
Blackest hand
of
thumbs up.
all.
I don't know. It's I don't know.
And now we're gonna
I think
show,
it's funny.
We're gonna show Aaron this
Oh
meme.
no.
What this? I mean, let's see. Adopt a highway.
You know what? Don't read
Oh, I can't read it.
Don't read it out loud.
Oh,
Calm down, Chris.
wow. That will be on the Two Crazy Scoops Instagram. Just check the Instagram for our newest memes.
Oh man.
2 Crazy Scoops after midnight.
We should do that in After Midnight edition.
Oh,
My
gosh.
goodness. What we are gonna try to do, despite whether Aaron wants to do it or not, is we're gonna be going to El Paso at the end of this month, and
Oh,
we're gonna
cool.
record a podcast in the car while we're driving, and the sound quality will be terrible, and it will be awesome.
No,
That's okay.
we are not doing that.
It's about the where you're at then. It's not about the
Yeah.
quality.
Yeah,
It's about the experience.
yeah. It's not about the destination. It's about the journey.
Yeah, there you go. Well, yeah.
Aaron is unplugging his mic. He's taking the system and going. I'm taking my ball and going home.
I am. As soon as we hit stop.
Everyone in this
Oh
room
my God.
is now dumber.
Wait, is that the only part you recorded? Is just that part? Oh my goodness. You got to get the whole answer.
At no point.
We'll put that in a different button now.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. Well, thank you again, Ethan.
Yeah. No
and we hope you have a safe travel back. Despite that I am the one driving you home. And if we crash and burn on the freeway, this is going to be a very sad episode.
Yeah, I know. It will be.
The memoriam.
I guess the entire 18 cents will be mine. Don't need to split it.
Oh, man. This has been Two Crazy Scoops Podcast with your hosts, AO and Antino. Next week, well, again, we're kind of going to stop telling you who's coming next week because some people have very busy schedules and, that's just how things go. But thank you for tuning in and have a good rest of your week or what's left of it.